Alright guys, today's actually a review on unboxing this filter. This is a NEEWER ND filter that's also a CPL. It's a 2-in-1, so it's 77 millimeters and will fit my 7200 lens. I have a set that from Freewell, that's their magnetic ones, and this is the 82 millimeter that can also has I guess like mist as well. So you can utilize that by flipping it on the other side, and also has ND functionality. But in order to use like this 82 on a 77, you need a step up ring, and that's where this Siriu that I got, and let's see which one is it. Alright. So Siriu came with this set of step up rings, even comes with this little adapter that you can use like square filters for. I actually have some plastic square filters, and this will go great with that. But the step up rings are like what you use to be able to get larger filters, so it is convenient just to buy like an 82 millimeter and buy step up rings, and then you can use it on any lens you want. So but if you have like some smaller lenses, having all these step up rings to step up to that size kind of looks ridiculous. So but a 77 to an 82 is not too bad. I think this one is a CPL. This is a 77 CPL filter. So let me take off this filter if I could. There it is. Okay. So this one's just a CPL filter, but it doesn't really give you that ND functionality. It'll just kind of like good for get that contrast in. So I'm going to take off this lens head real quick and the filter head. So right now I have just the glass itself, so I'm gonna put that right here, and I can just like put this 77 to 82 step up ring on here, and now I can use the 82 millimeter lens, the NEEWER one. To give me a quick example, so this one you need this. This is an 82, but if I put this on here, it'll fit exactly on it. But I've actually tried the Freewell 82 using just the ND. The only way to, here's like the VND base, but to put it on there, actually, because it stepped up, it kind of gave it a little warp reading, because it get that extra little, so it wasn't sharp for me. So when I was like taking photos, it wasn't sharp. But when I was using the step up and this magnetic filter and putting the like this like a 6-to-9 stop, let's say I was using the 6-to-9 stop right here, and then I put it on here, it kind of like, it doesn't work well, because you need, because it, I guess the way it bends, it doesn't work. So you need like this, like you need like you need a base to put on there first, just like this, and then you put this on there for it to work. But I guess it doesn't fit exactly. Let me see. Let's see. The VND goes on this side, so turn around. There we go. So now I have this, and it should go on there, and now you get that locking mechanism. Let's see, where does it at? Which should lock in. There we go, 6-to-9. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my camera real quick, and before I do the unboxing of the 77, just to take a look. So here is my body. Alright, so I have the 77, the 82 on there, and since you guys can see this flip out screen, let me get something in focus. That's super bright, but you can't really see anything. Let me adjust go to picture, and go to like, there we go. Here we go. I know it's like backwards and all, but let me focus on something. Here's this Canon logo. Yeah, there it is. Canon logo, and it is, yeah. So right now I have it at 6, and then of course when I get to 9, I need to bust up the ISO since I'm in the room. I'm gonna need it to bust it to like 8,000 so you can actually see it on the screen itself. Where to go? Where's my? Let me switch it to the 6. Where to go? Where am I focusing at? There we go. Here it is. Boom. Get that focus in. So right now there's that Canon. If you can see that Canon logo, it's my Canon printer, by the way. So, and then bring it to 9, but you can't really see anymore because it's super dark, and it's at 30 of a shutter. But to be able to shoot something like that, you need to have it really low. But you get that idea. And sometimes it's hard to focus, especially when it's that low light. Yeah, there you go. See that picture? Super bright, and then 6 to 9. Okay, that's basically that little functionality to it. But what I'm gonna do next is unbox this right here, because I'm actually gonna use this when I'm shooting, and then I have a double set to utilize, especially when you have like another zoom lens. You need the free will. You can swap it by removing the filter, but to have another set dedicated to just ND itself. Oh, so tight. All right, there we go. Here is the NEEWER filter. Oops, here we go. Let's put that to the side. And here we go. Okay, so here is the NEEWER filter, ND2 to ND32. That's it. So we need the little open boxes still. And this is great for shooting like sports or cars or fast moving objects, especially during the day, because when the cars are super fast, you want it to be able to get that motion blur by if a car is speeding or racing, to create that motion blur, you need to shoot a slow shutter and then pan the camera along with it. So when you shoot let's say 30 of a second, you pan real quick, but you need a little darker, so you can't shoot higher speed shutter. So you want to slow down that shutter and keep the ISO low, so you can get that nice motion blur on a vehicle. So here it is. This is the quick look of this ND filter, and right off the bat, it is nicely built. It's got this little ring on these metal rings that helps you focus fast when you're on the lens itself. So let's take a quick look at what we're going to remove. This right here. Take this off and put this filter. Here's a magnetic base for Freewell. Not sponsored by Freewell, but their magnetic base lenses are pretty good. So all right, so let's put that to the side. Now I have a 77. I actually don't need this anymore because my filter is no longer 82, so I don't need the step-up ring. Now I can go directly have this mounted on here. All right, cool. Now this is kind of cool. So we won't notice anything, but it can spin 180. But it is a CPL and an ND filter. So let's take a look at it right here. Right now it is completely white. To adjust it, let's see, ND32, right? Oops. There we go. Where do we go? Adjust this, Mom. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna show you guys the top. So here it is. You can spin it to get that CPL right, and then this is the cool technology of it. You get that sliding function to get that from the ND, to rotate that ND to get it darker, to move it away and closer to the lens, slightly, I believe. But that's the coolest function of this filter. So for instance, here's the brightness. It's completely bright. Right now I can adjust it to make it a little bit darker. And that only goes up to from ND2 to ND32. Right now my ISO is like at 8,000, so it's not like an ND9. Let's bring it down to like, let's say 400 ISO, and then oops, and bring up this. Let's keep that 2.8 to get that blur, and let's get the shutter to like 1/60th. So now I can see the window. This is the blind right here, so I can make it darker, make the dime darker right there. Now I can actually see it. The blinds are dark, so let's get something in focus that you can actually see in camera. We're gonna get that, open this back up again. Alright, let's see this item, this little guy, upside down in the camera, because it's facing that direction. But right there, here is what it looks like when you darken it up. You see it slowly darken in the camera, and completely darkened and bright. So let's make it ISO a little bit brighter so you guys can see it. We get the ISO to like 1200, 1250, and 1/60th second. So now, pretty bright, right? Here's the guy, pretty bright. Let me focus on him. He's pretty bright. Now I can darken him up using the ND filter, and then get that vignetting too along the way. Kind of cool, right? Just to get that ND filter just right there. And of course, you can change the way the shadow or the vignetting works because of the CPL by rotating the lens itself, and it gets darker that way. And that's hard to determine based on the lens itself, but this one fits the lens itself, and of course it's the it's like a 2-in-1, so ND2 to ND32 with a CPL filter. So you rotate it so you don't get that glare where you're shooting cars, depending on where it is. And then of course this little ring right here rotates the from the ND2 to ND32 from light to dark. The minimum, this is min to max. And that's it. Yeah, that's it to this little filter. Beautiful, nice filter, great for shooting sports. And of course, this lens cap can still fit on there, but it won't. You can't mount this little hood on there, so because it won't fit inside. I wonder if this was off. Let's try this. Put this hood on here and see if I can add this in there. I don't think so. Open that up just to see. Kind of cool. It might not fit because of the 2 points in there. It won't work with this because even though there's a slot for the filter, there's these 2 little knobs, and so you can't rotate and turn it in there while it's in there. So you have to have no lens hood when you're using this. That's the only downside to using this filter. But yeah, that's kind of cool. That's it to this video regarding not having a step-up ring and going with the NEEWER ND2 to ND32 CPL Filter 2-in-1. See you guys next video. Peace. One little quick note, you can actually see how dark you can get from this little view right here by sliding this. Make it darker, see? Minuscule, but you can see it though through this. So this is all the way dark. And you see you can't really see it through. You can see my hand, and then put it. You can see it. That's another look.